Gaza now, where a plan is underway to vaccinate more than 500,000 children against polio. The virus recently resurfaced after 25 years. Health workers are set to deliver the doses during 3 humanitarian pauses over the next month. The World Health Organization says polio isn't the only disease threatening those in Gaza.
The current outbreak in Gaza is a stark reminder of how quickly infectious diseases can re-emerge where health systems are compromised. Many other diseases are spreading, while our collective capacities to prevent, detect and respond to them continue to be hindered.
Well, meanwhile, the Israeli military said it killed a Hamas commander and 2 other fighters as its West Bank operations continued for a 3rd day. Palestinian officials say at least 19 people have been killed. Our Nick Robertson joins us now live from Jerusalem. Good to have you with us, Nick. I want to start first with the logistics around the vaccination rollout. It's hard to comprehend how this will happen inside Gaza that is completely devastated. What can you tell us about this rollout?
Yeah, it's without precedent, and I was speaking with one of the UNRWA senior officials, Sam Rose, a little earlier. He said this was monumental. This is not something that's ever been done before. 640,000 children they have to vaccinate. They're all under 10 years of age. They're going to do it in 3 phases. The centre of Gaza for 3 days, and then the south of Gaza for 3 days, and then the north of Gaza for 3 days. But in each of those areas, they get these pauses, so it's not a big blanket ceasefire, if you will, pause across the whole of Gaza, which is what the UN originally wanted. So each of those days, they will only get between 7 or 8 hours pause in the fighting. So if you kind of, multiply out or do the math on those numbers, they really have to try to vaccinate about 10,000 children an hour. Now, he said they're prepared for this. They're going to learn as they go, but they've got 3,000 workers on the job. They can use health centres, the smaller health clinics, and then they're going to have mobile teams at as many as 2,000 different locations, setting up in fields, in shrubland, on sandy beaches as well, wherever they can get to people. But one of the difficulties that they're going to face is, although they've got this target number and they need to do at least 90%, they don't know if that's actually the accurate number. It's the best estimate they've got, but they fear that many children may sadly be under the rubble of houses. So getting the right target number, they have to get 90% of the of that 640,000 to know that they have a statistical chance of knocking the disease on the head. And the other big caveat here, of course, is they need to do this again in 4 weeks' time. And what Sam Rose told us is, if we don't get the pause, if we're not able to do this whole vaccination process, pull off this whole big effort again in 4 weeks' time, then the first round will have been for nothing. They have to get a second dose out there as well.
Wow. And turning to the West Bank, Nick, we know 600 Palestinians have been killed in the West Bank since the start of the war in Gaza. What more can you tell us about the latest IDF raids?
Yeah, it's been sort of seen when it began 3 days ago as the biggest Israeli military operation in the West Bank since the war had begun. It does seem now that the scale of the operation is reducing in size, maybe not the number of forces, because we don't get daily updates on the troop dispensation from the IDF. But what we do know is the IDF is claiming that it's killed 20 people now in this operation overall. It does now seem to be focused on Jenin. The IDF is saying that today 3 of those people it killed were Hamas fighters. One of them, they say, it was a senior commander in the area. All the 20, they say, who have died, they say, were terrorists. Ministry of Health officials in the West Bank, though, say, yes, 20 people have died, but they would count some of them as civilians, and certainly civilians have been injured. And the governor, the local council governor in Jenin, has been appealing for a pause in this military operation so that civilians can get out to get food, to get medicine, or even in some cases take shelter. And we were looking at a video posted by some journalists this evening, showing what appeared to be families with small children escaping through sort of rough woodland and hillside to get out of Jenin, to get some safety, and that was in the east of Jenin. So this does appear to be an ongoing military operation. The end sort of bounds of it, if you will, we don't know when they're going to come, but the IDF has been very clear that it has found bomb-making equipment. They say that they've targeted and killed terrorists, and they've also detained almost 20 people they say are connected to terrorism.
All right, Nick Robertson for us, staying across all those developments from Jerusalem. We will speak to you again soon. Thanks so much.